We did so much running around with him. I remember how we used to wake him up in the morning and they didn't want to get out of bed because we'd be going from morning to night.
It was raining on April 5th, 2003. The phone rang, rousing college student Ashley Streeter from sleep at her parents' home.
And we didn't hear the phone, and Bill was on the first floor. He'd never heard Ashley walk by. She walked by, she never woke him up, and she opened the garage door and got her car out of the driveway. We never heard a thing.
Her brother Billy was calling from New York City, asking Ashley to come pick him up and one of his friends.
Initial plans were to have everybody sleep in New York, and they somehow couldn't get into this apartment that they were supposed to stay at. And so he called her at that point and said, Ashley, we're going to try to catch a train and come home. Would you pick us up?
Ashley headed out the door, headed for the Garden State Parkway. It was 2 a.m.
She was good enough to get out of bed and drive down to pick him up, and this happened on the way back from the train station about 4 o'clock in the morning on the Parkway.
On their way home, Ashley's car slid on the rain-slicked roads, crashing into the median, instantly disabled. Moments later, at 4:03 p.m., a drunk driver with a suspended license struck the silver 2000 Jetta, killing Ashley and her brother, leaving Billy's friend Craig Hoare in critical condition.
I mean, there's no way this person should be on the road. Even whether he was drinking or he wasn't drinking, he shouldn't have been driving a car. And, you know, possibly had the laws been more efficiently enforced, that may have helped the situation.
Or if everyone was doing their job that night. He was pulled over 2 hours before by 3 police forces, and they let him go.
So he should have been thrown in jail right there.
Right then and there.
Absolutely.
To Mr. and Mrs. Streeter's surprise, 2 police officers were at their door the next morning with the news that their only 2 children were dead. Not only did they not believe the officers, but they swore Ashley and Billy were up in their room sleeping, but they weren't there.
And when they told us, we were saying, you're wrong, they're upstairs, they're in bed, we'll prove it to you. And I ran upstairs and opened one door. I opened Ashley's door and I yelled, her sheets are thrown off. She was here, she's not here now. And I opened Billy's door and I said, he wasn't here. But when we went to bed, both their cars were in the driveway. So that knock could be on anyone's door, and it's just impossible to think that it happened to us, but it can happen to anybody.
Ashley was a 20-year-old junior at Kutztown University, and her brother Billy was a 23-year-old law student at Seton Hall.
Pretty much exactly the way Billy's room was at the time of the accident, and we purposely have left everything in place, so we just can't, you know, bear to try to think about cleaning the room out or changing things around too much.
The class of 2005 raised enough money to dedicate a classroom at Seton Hall Law School in the name of Billy and Ashley. And they collected from the alums also. And they have a plaque hanging outside of the classroom and also where the professor stands inside. We just want to keep them alive, and we don't want to feel they died in vain, and we want others to be saved because of what happened to them.
The Streeters have spoken to school, church, and community groups to convey their message.
And the message that we try to get across is that, well, we're here to tell you that it can happen to you, and if you continue this type of behavior of being drinking or taking drugs and then getting behind the wheel of a car, eventually it's not if it's going to happen to you, it's when it's going to happen to you. Something will happen eventually.
If you'd like to learn more about the Billy and Ashley Memorial Scholarship Fund, please go to the website www.forbillyandashley.com. All donations are tax deductible and go to the nonprofit organization set up in their memory.